Half-Life Nation, here we are with Stephanie, Half-Life's yogi. I gotta tell you guys, when you're out there doing foil sports, flexibility and core strength is absolutely essential. Stephanie has the yoga moves to kind of take us there and get us going. And stick around to the end. We're going to Mexico, baby, and you can come with us. When you're out there and you're on the wake, you're in the surf, and you're turning this thing back and forth, that's core strength. When you're prone surfing, and it's time to do the pop. Well, when you do that pop, look at the flexibility it requires from that back leg. When you're wing foiling and you're on your knees and you go to step up here, look at the flexibility it takes to be able to do that. Now, if you want the flexibility and the strength to unlock your performance, you need some yoga tips from Stephanie, and here they are.
So here are the 5 yoga poses that are going to help you have a fantastic experience on your board, increasing your flexibility, your strength, your range of motion, and just taking you to that next level of an experience. The first pose is child's pose. And although so much of these poses have to do with the stance, getting up on the board, and how you're actually moving when you're functioning in your experience. So coming to child's pose, we start to create more space in the body. We're stretching out the shoulders, we're opening up the back, we're stretching out the hips. And if your body is tight in child's pose, you can always have the hips up to start with and be in puppy pose. And then when you start to feel comfortable in that, bringing the body down into child's pose and reaching the arms long. We want to be stretching out the spine, opening up those muscle fibers. The next pose is plank pose. It's gonna fire up the core, get your abdominals strong. So much core strength is needed in these sports. Getting the shoulders. So you're gonna come up to plank position. And you wanna have a nice flat back in plank. And you can hold this plank for as long as you can. Another great thing to do in plank is to practice bringing your feet over to your elbows. So you're crisscrossing, because as you come up into your stance, a lot of the stance is bringing your legs up. So we start by practicing bringing them across. Another thing that you can do in plank are these jump throughs. Jumping back and forth, and that's gonna start to warm up the hips. It's gonna get your core fired up. It's gonna teach you how to get that range of motion so that you can get into your pop-up. The next pose is a low lunge. You step one foot through and bring your back leg down and then rise up. This is gonna start to open up your hip flexor, get more range of motion in there. We've got some really tight muscle fibers in there, and it's important to open those up so we don't get injured. And so that you also have more movement. You push the hips forward, you can reach the arms up. And then you would repeat that on the other side. Next, we're gonna come into warrior poses. So you step one foot forward on your board or on your mat, wherever you're at. And the next back foot comes back. You can have it at a 45-degree angle. And you're gonna come down into a lunge. This is gonna open up the hips. It's gonna start to fire up those big muscle groups in your legs and reach up. We wanna create a lot of length here. So again, we're working to stretch those muscle fibers so that we have more functional movement in the body. And then you can open up to warrior 2 here. And as you hold these poses, you can hold them for about 30 seconds, a minute, whatever feels good. I recommend doing it by the count of breath. 5 breaths, 10 breaths, whatever feels comfortable in your body. Next is a wide leg squat. We're crouched down so much on the board to get up, so we really need to have that knee movement, that hip flexibility. So you start by bringing your feet out wider than hip width distance apart, turning the toes out, and then sinking down into your squat. And you might come down about this far to start with. That's great. You can take your hands and put them on the insides of your thighs. Maybe drop your shoulders down, getting more movement in the shoulder area, loosening that up, because there's so much arm activity and strength needed in this. And then as you feel comfortable with that, and things start to expand, open, get more flexible, come down lower. And eventually you're gonna come all the way down into this squat. It's gonna open up the pelvis area, the hips. Those are my 5 main tips for foiling, for all disciplines.
Stephanie,
Yeah.
Stephanie's our Half-Life Yogi. We're going to Mexico, and
Yeah.
we're gonna bring Half-Life Nation with us. 12 people are gonna come down to Mexico with us. Accommodations, all inclusive. We can drink, we can merry-make, but most importantly, we're gonna foil, we're gonna do yoga, we're gonna use our breath control, we're gonna have a fantastic time. There'll be snorkeling, there'll be wake foiling. If there's surf to be had, we're gonna surf foil, we're gonna wing. It's gonna be unbelievable. If you want more details, just go to the website, halflife.live, and you'll see that trip there. We hope you join us. Do you hope they join us?
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be an incredible experience.
Incredible, incredible. Stephanie says incredible. I'm buying that. You should buy it too. We'll see you in Mexico.